Sabir Hussien, welcome to UK Fight Site.
Thanks for having me, man. It was like 2 years in the making or something.
I know it really has.
Yeah,
It might even be longer because
I think so.
because I was at Fight for Peace for 4 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had the studio for about 2 years, but I think even before that it was like we'll catch up and do an interview before
Yeah.
some of the Muay Thai fights. And
Yeah.
yeah. But good to see you again, man. It's been a couple of months. A lot of big news recently for you. You're entering the pro ranks. SCK Fitness now as a HQ. So there's a lot of stuff to get through, and we're also going to go back and just talk about your amateur career
Yeah.
before you join in the pro ranks. But before we get to that, let's talk about you joining the pro ranks.
Yeah.
What was the thinking behind it? Why is the time right?
So it was weird because the last 2 years the conversation has been held with me and my coaches, and we were thinking about going pro, but I always wanted to get tested, and we had a number of fights in mind. So I think maybe 2022 we had let's say 3 fights in mind.
Yeah.
And then those 3 fights tend to stretch out because opponents pulling out or opponents not accepting fights or can't find fights. So obviously fights are being reliable in terms of matchmaking. They're always finding somebody. So I said, 3 hard fights, maybe 3-4 hard fights, and then end up being 4 fights or so, and then I go pro. Especially guys who are heavy grapplers.
Yeah.
And then just to get me tested in that area, and after we achieved that, and I think now I got all the experience because I got a striking experience from my Muay Thai days and amateur boxing days.
Yeah.
So I just need to face off against heavy grapplers, and then once I get that experience, I can finally go to pro and then be comfortable in any situation.
Yeah. And when are you looking to make your pro debut?
I'll be honest, as soon as possible. I was supposed to, so I think it was decided literally after my last fight, an amateur fight, my second last amateur fight in November.
Okay.
So last year, November.
Yeah.
And we said, next fight's pro. And my name got put down, but we couldn't find nobody. And then I think you couldn't get matched, so then we said, you know what, let's stick to a date. So the date was meant to be August 3rd for Fight Star, which went past last weekend for pro debut. But that was a long stretch. So from the earliest year, so we said, you know what, let's try to get one amateur fight in.
Yeah.
So just find anybody. Let's just get active because cage time is really important. I don't want to go in there and be quite rusty. So we and that was a task. I'm like, we had maybe 20 to 30 turndowns. Yeah, we asked from flyweight to bantamweight, just get somebody. We couldn't find anybody, and then up until cage still in July or June, I think it was June.
June was it?
Yeah. They offered somebody, and that opponent pulled out. And then we finally found somebody, but I had to go up all the way to, I think 64 kilos to fight. So, but we didn't care. We knew it was an amateur fight. We just wanted to get experience. So we got the fight done, and then now hopefully as soon as possible. I'm just looking to go out.
Is there any talk with any promotions? Obviously, like Fight Star during your amateur career, you fought there a few times. Is there any talk of any promotions? Are the matchmakers looking for you?
So currently, what I'm aware of, we just obviously Fight Star. We just talk. I'd rather, I preferably make my debut Fight Star because they're a London show.
Yeah.
And then close to home is always good for me. But something regional, as long as I can get out there, get my feet wet, I think it doesn't really matter what kind of promotion it is. But also, I'm willing to talk to any promotion at the moment in time. But Fight Star is obviously the priority right now. Yeah.
And it's weird you saying that because I do actually remember talking to you at Fight for Peace, and we was talking about your amateur career.
Yeah.
This is when you were still in the middle of it. And it was good to hear because you don't really hear that from a lot of fighters. I remember you was seeking out the tougher fights. Just as you said that, you did remind me that you was looking at, those things to test you, like the grappling, the stronger wrestlers, just to put your skills to the test. So that's a good reminder because I do remember you actually saying that. You also co-founded the community interest company, SCK Fitness.
Yeah.
Just a little bit about how that came about and what the project is.
So the project we started off as a CIC, which is like a charity project. So we started this 3 years ago, but the conversation was held within probably 6 months before launching. Me and my close friend, Warsame, also known as CK, we had discussions of how we could impact our community, because both of us, like, it's almost like a unicorn finding a Somali guy that trains in the gym, does martial arts. So whenever I go to a gym, even at my year's 5 piece, you rarely see anyone that competes at Somali. Yeah. So when I met CK, all of a sudden, like, there's someone that's similar to you, you know what I mean? So as soon as we found out, I guess we helped each other in terms of motivating each other for training, but then we had deeper conversations on how we could maybe encourage more people from our community to kind of train as well. So yeah, we had a conversation here and there. We thought of a name, we thought of a concept, but nothing really kicked off. We just all ideas at the time. And then I had my fight at the O2 and Muay Thai fight, O2 Indigo. And I remember having a first round knockout, and it went viral, like a lot of attention, from especially my community. So I just rang up CK the next day. I said, CK, I think now is the time. Like, people are right now invested in me at the moment, innit? So if I put something out there, I got their attention, it's more likely to get like popular in that sense. Yeah. So then within a couple of days, we done the fine prints, we designed the logo, all that stuff, and we just published it. We have nothing, just the logo we had. So we published it, and the concept was just to provide free sessions, just to build the brand, provide free sessions. We would travel to you, where it may be. And then eventually we got to a stage where Diesel Gym offered us the space where we could run like a free class every Sunday. And we've been doing that since till today, like 3 years now. So every Sunday running boxing classes, and CK built a team in another facility, the Jiu-Jitsu team. And then now, 3 years later, we have our own place, and we just brought everyone that was invested in us in the last 3 years into that place. And so thankfully it worked out.
Yeah, and your own place is in Leyton?
Yeah, Leyton.
Yeah, so just tell us a little bit of how that's going and the team you have in place over there.
So the team right now, we have, in terms of coaches, me as CK, and 2 female coaches. We got Fina and we got Sana. So yeah, so they run the female only classes. And just 4 of us, so me and CK, obviously we do the managing role stuff. We just make sure speak to the members, making sure the memberships are on point, making sure the members feel at home, and also cleaning and all that, you know, that stuff, all the managing stuff. And then, so right now, it's going really well in terms of the impact we're having, because that's something we built for the last 3 years, make a connection to the community. And once we opened, we really saw the support the community gave us. Like, we spent all these years giving to the community, and as soon as we opened our own place, they gave to us in that sense. Yeah. So I think it's a blessing for us to kind of go through it right now. Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously, would this be your full-time home, or you still bouncing around to train with?
In terms of training?
Yeah, your own training for your career.
So obviously, yeah, my head coach, striking coach, obviously Daniel Sam. Mm-hmm. I got ESKF, my MMA coach. Yeah. MMA gym, Seafood being an MMA coach. Yeah. I tend to do my S&C at Diesel. So, and I also do some grappling sessions at Diesel. But in terms of SCK, because it's my own location and CK's own location, if we're free one morning, we invite all the fighters we know, come at 10 a.m., let's get cracking, you know what I mean? Let's get a grappling session in or sparring session in. Yeah. We just got a grappling session in this morning. I got some heavy bag. Yeah. So yeah, we just came straight from training, and then that's the privilege we can have with our own gym, right? Yeah. So we can kind of train there whenever we want. So, but I'm still under ESKF in terms of MMA.
Yeah. I was about to say that must be like a great benefit to have your own space like that, where you can, bring your training partners all together from maybe different gyms or different teams, but you've got this space, so you don't have to worry about it being available to you because it's your own space.
Yeah, and people reach out to me, like, so for example, when I trained this morning, I might put a post on my story, and people say, "Yo, like, can I come next week?" Yeah. Like other fighters are like, "Can I train with you guys next week?" I say, "Yeah, come through." Yeah. And it's becoming like a Shark Tank kind of session. A lot of pro fighters, high-level amateur fighters. And then I mean, even training guys with guys from Blackbeard. Yeah. For example, even some guys from GB come down, and we just grapple. We just do MMA training, and everyone seems to work well together.
Brilliant! Congratulations on that too, man. Because obviously I remember when you was putting a lot of that together, and you was holding classes, and then you was based at Diesel. So it's been really good to see you, you know, build that from scratch, and now what you've got in place at, in Leyton. It's really good to see.